Jun-ho and Im Yoona, Love After Wounds. From the outside, Jun-ho and Im Yoona shine with polished charm, flawless talent, and flawless smiles. Yet both have weathered storms, career betrayals, relentless rumors, public heartbreak. This is the imagined tale of how those two paths finally converge, crafted through vulnerability, raw honesty, and transcendent moments. Jun-ho, rising star of a K-drama hit, once experienced false scandal that derailed endorsements and shook faith in those around him. A betrayal from a trusted manager left him withdrawn, guarded, unwilling to trust again. Meanwhile, Im Yoona, the nation's favorite idol-turned-actress, endured tabloid gossip whenever one misstep happened in her personal life. Accusations, rumors, even a canceled supporting role, all eroded her belief in love offered by others. But when a charity gala brings them together, Yoona volunteering for a children's art foundation and Jun-ho performing music, they both carry invisible scars, and fate is about to demand something neither expects. Picture a minimalist art installation hall in Seoul. Child-sized paintings, soft spotlighting, hardwood floors, a mix of innocence and fragile beauty. Yoona wanders between drawings, absorbing color with solemn awe. At the edge of the room, Jun-ho plays an acoustic solo, something simple, piano-guitar hybrid, notes echoing into the empty corners. Their eyes meet from a distance, two strangers yet familiar, with a pain deeper than publicity. He finishes, stands, and walks toward her, each step cautious. "I'm sorry to intrude," he says softly. She turns, surprised. "Your music, it felt like it knew me." They step outside into night, walking along the Han River. Wind whips their coats. City lights ripple across the water. Neither speaks for 5 minutes. Then Jun-ho says, "I stopped trusting people when I thought I lost everything." She stops. "I lost trust the day whispers replaced truth." They pause, side by side, distance humbling, not pushing closeness, but offering space. Then she asks, "So why are you here?" "Really here." He smiles faintly. "Because music doesn't lie." She looks at him, troubled. "Then tell me the truth." He shakes his head. "I need to learn how, with someone who understands what withholding means." A few days later, their TV network schedules both of them on the same live variety show. Tension is high. Producers ask them to do a duet, her vocals, his guitar. They're reluctant. History teaches them to protect. But cameras record everything. The nervous sidelong glances, the synchronicity when he hits the chord and she takes the note. 2 songs in, the staff hushes. Their voices blend with eerie harmony, something fragile, genuine. At the closing chord, the applause is thunderous, but even louder, the echo of their silent surrender to each other. Once cameras stop rolling, they remain. Yoona leans into a piano corner. Jun-ho places a candle on top. Shadows flicker. "Play that song again," she whispers. He nods, fingers trembling over keys. The melody flows, soft, imperfect, beautiful. Yoona closes her eyes and begins to sing, voice hushed, vulnerable. When they finish, she opens her eyes. They shine with unshed tears. "You're brave," she says. "So are you," he replies. Their hands touch briefly. No fireworks, just a heartbeat passing into another. Later, at a press conference, a scandal surfaces. A fake tweet claiming Im Yoona was feuding with her co-star. Tabloids pick it up. Netizens flood with criticism. She retreats to her dressing room, furious and heartbroken. But Jun-ho appears unannounced. No entourage, just him. He hands her coffee, sits in silence, offers no commentary. That act of quiet support, knowing not to speak, only to stay, echoes more than any proclamation. She smiles at him, fragile. "Thank you." He nods. No promise, but presence. They escape to a rarely used rooftop at midnight. The city below a glittering tapestry. Jun-ho holds a small speaker. Doesn't play music, just lets silence fill the spaces between. "No one ever asked how I felt when I lost my trust," he says. She shivers, not from cold. "No one thought to ask what happened after they hurt me." He steps close. "I won't ask you to forget, but maybe we can build something neither of us has dared." She squeezes his hand. Something real. They're invited to the same fashion gala, luxury brands, international magazine coverage. The spotlight is all-consuming. Before walking the red carpet, Yoona takes a moment in the makeup stall. Jun-ho appears. He avoids eye contact, ready to back away. Instead, he says, "You look luminous." She smiles wanly. Luminous doesn't feel like trust. He breathes sharply. "I know I don't deserve your faith yet." She takes his hand. They walk out together, but not into front-facing photos. They slip through side corridors. Their love simmering, unbroadcast, but theirs. By summer, Jun-ho leaves for a solo performance tour abroad. She remains in Seoul. They text, snap, send voice notes, but complexity accumulates. On his last night, Yoona finds a sealed envelope at her door. Inside, a handwritten letter. "I want you to know that every song I wrote last year fell hollow until we met in that gallery. Now the notes wake me up. I know you've been hurt. I've been broken too. But I want to heal here with you. And I've scheduled tickets, JFK to Incheon. If you want to begin, I'll wait at customs. If you don't, I'll return alone." Her tears fall onto the paper. Inks blur. When the story leaks, a fan finds a letter photo online. The fandom explodes. Reddit threads debate restraint. Blog posts analyze trust versus fame. Netizens tweet, their love felt more honest than their PR. Supporters create art. Yoona and Jun-ho holding hands in rainy alleys, sharing coffee at a late-night jazz bar, laughing while feeding street cats. Critics warn of pitfalls. Scandals could destroy if they open up. But many say, trust earned in small moments isn't fragile, it's powerful. It's a chilly night at Incheon Airport. Miho arrives on flight KE-705 from New York. The gate opens. Passengers disperse. Yoona appears at the end of the jetway. Coat pulled tight, umbrella discarded. Jun-ho exits into the arrival hall. They lock eyes across the crowd. He steps through barriers. She runs forward. No cameras. No entourages. They meet. He enfolds her slowly. They stand in quiet embrace beneath fluorescent lights. Ordinary, sacred. They walk out the airport. No publicity. No red carpets. Just two souls choosing each other again amid chaos. In the days that follow, Yoona helps Jun-ho rehearse for his comeback concert. She hums harmonies while he strums chords. He drives her to small acting auditions, supportive rather than staged. They cook sloppy meals in his small soul flat. They mispronounce recipes. They spill sauce and laugh. The world watches rumors swirl. Some celebrate, others still doubt. But they're anchored not by spotlight, but by trust. Healing through partnership. They found meaning not in escape, but in facing scars together. Imagine them co-starring in a film. She has a photojournalist capturing resilience. He has a musician mending souls. Rumored collaborations surface. Fans dream of real performances. Industry speculations hint at endorsements promoting authenticity, mental health, trust building. Love doesn't begin when two people meet. It begins when they stop pretending they're fine, without each other. The thunderous applause still echoed in Jun-ho's ears as he exited the stage. Backstage, his team buzzed with excitement, but his eyes searched only for her. Yoona was waiting at the far corner, leaning against a prop wall, her hoodie drawn up like armor. When he approached, she didn't smile, just handed him a towel and a bottle of water. "You didn't mention the final song," she said. Jun-ho glanced at her. "I wanted to see how it felt to say it on stage first." Because the final song, one he'd written in secret, was titled When I Found You, and the lyrics weren't poetry. They were her. Just as their relationship began to feel steady, a tabloid dropped a bombshell. Photos of Yoona with her ex-boyfriend from years ago, taken from an old photo shoot but framed as a rekindled spark. The timing couldn't be worse. Jun-ho was on set. The moment the article hit, his phone exploded. The director gave him a break. In the trailer, he stared at the photos, Yoona smile in them, her soft gaze toward someone else. He turned off the phone. That night, Yoona showed up at his apartment, shaking with anger. "They're from 2019, Jun-ho. You know that. Don't do this." "I know," he said, almost too quietly. But I forgot how hard it is when the past gets louder than the present. Her expression softened. So, what do we do? He looked up at her. We talk louder. Weeks later, Yoona was flown to Paris for a high-profile fashion editorial and interview. Journalists circled delicately around her relationship status. But when asked, "Are you in love right now?" she didn't dodge. Instead, she replied, "I'm learning what real love feels like. It's not perfect. It's not always romantic. But it's safe. And it shows up." The video went viral. But what moved fans most wasn't the quote. It was the way she smiled at the end, looking down like she was reliving a moment no one else could see. Later that night, Jun-ho received a voice note from her. No words, just silence, and then a soft humming of their rooftop melody. He played it on repeat until sunrise. When Yoona's long-awaited drama was abruptly canceled due to internal conflict, she was devastated. The role had been her passion project. Rumors swirled online. She'd walked out, clashed with writers, pulled diva moves. None of it was true. For 3 days, she stayed inside. Curtains closed. Phone off. Nothing made sense anymore. On the 4th night, Jun-ho arrived at her place. No knocking, just a key she once gave him, trembling in his hand. She didn't get up from the couch. He didn't speak. He just sat down beside her, held her hand, and slowly pulled out a small portable speaker. Music began. Their music. And without asking, without forcing, he gently moved her into a slow dance in the middle of the mess. No makeup, no cameras. Just him, just her. Grief and love, waltzing. There came a night they said things they didn't mean. Jun-ho, exhausted from an intense filming schedule, missed an important dinner with her family. He didn't call, didn't text. When he finally arrived at her apartment, she was waiting. Cold, quiet, tired of forgiving. "Every time I let you in, you disappear." "It was one dinner," he snapped. "It was never just one anything," she shot back. "You keep asking me to understand your silence, but I need your presence." He was stunned. "You knew what my life was like before this. And you knew mine. But I'm still here. I still show up. I just want someone to choose me back." He didn't answer. The silence burned. He left. A week passed. Then a package arrived at her door. Inside, a notebook, handwritten, pages filled. The first line read, "For every moment I disappeared, here's where I was and where I want to be." He had written every memory he never told her about. The time he almost dropped out of training. The audition that shattered his self-worth. The heartbreak that made him stop trusting. The exact moment he knew he loved her. The first time she took off her heels in a parking garage and danced barefoot, laughing. He ended with, "I'm scared too, of being known. But I'd rather lose my image than lose you." She didn't call him back. She showed up at his rehearsal studio during a thunderstorm. He looked up from the piano as she stood at the door, hair soaked, jacket clinging to her skin, notebook in hand. "You should have used an umbrella," he whispered. "I didn't come to stay dry." He stood. "I read every page," she said, voice shaking. "And I still want you, rain and all." He crossed the room. And this time, when their lips met, it wasn't quiet. It was years of heartbreak crashing into relief. For their anniversary, they didn't post pictures. No captions. No vague heart emojis. They simply booked a small theater and performed a one-night-only acoustic set. Just 30 fans. A surprise no one expected. They sang, talked, laughed, and midway, Jun-ho looked at her and said into the mic, "This isn't a performance. This is a promise." Yoona leaned into his shoulder. The crowd applauded. No tabloids, no PR team. Just two people rewriting their story. They'll still have fights. The world will still watch. The past will still try to claw its way back in. But Jun-ho and Yoona have learned something few people in their world ever do. That love isn't about escaping pain. It's about building a home in the rubble of what broke you. And now they live in that home, bit by bit, quietly, bravely, every single day,